Well, I think we're live. I believe we're live here from
I'm going to an ad right now.
Yeah, I got an ad, but we are live from the western dunes of Zandvoort here in the Netherlands for what is shaping up to be a slippery endeavor for these drivers. I'm Kid Petter, by the way. Back from a prolonged siesta, you may say. And looking forward to this. I'm joined alongside as, well, not always anymore, but usually, Andy Wu.
Howdy. Glad to be back. Got a bottle of Jack. I don't have anything else to rhyme with that. But,
Andy dropping bars.
He's already
but yeah, you know, excited to be back here. Good track. Got some exciting weather coming up too later in this event. But yeah, you know, just excited to get things worn back up, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And a big thanks to Cam Tissel. He is joining us as well.
Yes,
Your
sir.
eyes and ears. Done a great job filling in for us while we've been out to pasture. How you doing,
Yes, sir.
Cam?
Doing pretty good. It's glad to have you guys back. I hope I was able to live up to your guys' legacy, but I think I did a good enough job.
Yeah, definitely. And it's definitely pretty difficult to do the one-man job that you were doing. So
Oh, yeah.
kudos for that. Do have some interesting early action. Death Storm. Doesn't matter if we missed the past 6 races or whatever. Was it probably more? Probably like 7 or 8.
Storm ESQ.
Yeah, Death Storm has been
Blocking the
disqualified
pit
for
lane.
something. He must have
Yeah, so
spun.
he spun out of turn 1, spun to the inside wall, broke his wing, and I'm guessing he didn't want to back up into the racing line, which would have been a very silly thing to do, so he just parked it there to avoid ruining anybody's laps, and he got a very harsh disqualification. But yeah, he's missing a wing. And,
He's a nice guy.
Something I want to say about race strategy, though, for today is going to be a full wet race. If you guys remember the last AM2 season, Electric Blade and I, we ended up doing a 0 stop, as there's a Ferrari on the inside line of the banking. But anyways, yeah, I think a no stop is probably going to be the best strategy around here, given you can make your tires make it.
Yeah, I do recall that. That was an impressive feat of strategy from the what were the Albions last season. Good stuff. BBAR A Garvey has gone to pole, and I shouldn't be shocked because I have the standings right here, and looks like he is 39 points clear of Wing It on a 4-race winning streak at the moment. So it looks like Garvey's in pretty good form.
He's been the man of these past few races. He's stepped up and was taken it to Wing It. He wasn't after Wing It's early successes. He wasn't going to let Wing It hold that for long. He meant business.
my preseason prediction wasn't too far off now, finally coming to fruition after what was a couple rough races when we were commentating earlier. But you know, maybe we're his bad luck charm. Maybe this is the end of his dominance after we show up.
But Wing It was around on his flyer. He had made a mistake somewhere, which has been kind of typical of his most recent qualifying sessions. Most of his qualifying sessions has involved a spin or two from the Wing It himself.
Sounds like someone hasn't been practicing and then shows up and, you know, isn't quite performing.
Just rolls out of bed and shows up. That's the Wing It way. Unfortunately, not going to plan so far. However, I believe this isn't a flyer, is it? Or is he on? Nope, yep, he's
I think
on
he's
board.
restarting. He kind of looked like he was saving up the battery for it.
So yeah, he's going for it. And let's run through a lap here. Turn 1, Tarzan balked. My throat's gonna hurt for saying balked so much. But turn 2, that is Gerlach balked. Hugenholtz balked, named after the famed circuit designer, the man who designed Suzuka and this circuit, amongst many others. Through Skivlak. Yes, Skivlak. One of my favorite corner names. It's fun to say. Say it, guys. Say it.
Ski Black.
Ski
Yeah,
back.
I'm gonna pass.
Okay.
I might end up saying
You
a
don't have
racial
to.
slur at some point.
Masterbocht is turn 8.
Nice.
It's that fast right hand corner into 11-12 complex. 13 as well is upcoming, and then Ari Leyendijk Bocht. I think Bocht means corner in Dutch. Haven't done any research on that, but I'm pretty sure.
I think that's a good assumption.
I think
if I'm
that's
being
what that
honest.
means, is Winged is coming to the line. P9's all it's going to be. Those tires are less sticky than they would have been had he not spun. We have Cheesehead on a lap, and I have oh, that's my thing going off. BK says, voices I am so happy to hear. Welcome back, Kitten and Andy. Thanks, BK. Death Storm says, well, that wasn't ideal. Spun on exit of Tarzan corner.
Kid, since I'm curious, how do you spell Bocht?
Bocht. And you just put that
It
on the
means
end.
bend.
Bend, okay. Because they just put that on the end of literally every corner. So,
Gotcha.
I mean, Winged's tires
check
look
your
pretty
Bocht.
sticky.
You know that means bend.
Winged's tires did look pretty sticky through Masterbocht, but I don't know if that had anything to do with
it
it.
might have been his. It was actually his hands. When you were thinking.
Oh yeah.
Cheesehead across the line in P3. Should be noted, DK, our favorite serviceman. He is.
Garvey,
He's coming up to
Garvey
the
now.
line on a time lap.
Oh, yeah,
You guys is going to the
Thanks,
pits.
Garvey, for your thank you for your service, both of y'all.
Garvey and
1 and
DK.
2.
Hopefully,
Our servicemen.
is it Memorial
Oh,
Day weekend?
he's another serviceman, huh? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we got two
that's-
servicemen.
That's late
Really?
May, but yeah, I mean the two airmen flying high right now, P1 and P2.
Interesting. I did not know that. I've been considering a DK the only airman.
No,
Sure,
Garvey's really humble, so he
Yeah,
doesn't
Garvey's a
wanna
little
talk
older.
about his
He's
service.
already out, but currently DK's still in the service.
Yeah, and let me tell you what, I love our boys in uniform. That extends to first responders, including tow truck drivers.
Don't be all kidding.
Yeah.
And hunters.
Orlando in P4, Cheesehead in P3. Chase is out on a lap, I think. This is a hot lap. We'll have to check and see what that split is here. Oh, god dang it. I forgot where the sectors are around here. This is actually the first time that
he's
I've...
just about level with his previous best.
This is the first time that I've opened up Formula 1 2022 in about 9 weeks. So
DK's been improved on his time. He's up about 2/10 at the moment. Maybe he'll find some time in the third sector to be able to challenge Garvey, but I don't think he will. I think he'll get close, but not quite.
yeah,
He
we
comes
saw
across the line for a 1:11.39. It's a little bit off, but a good gain.
yeah, we've got some interesting stuff going on here. DK obviously in P2. He's not been having the best season by his lofty standards. Orlando on the other
Austin
hand,
better get out of the way, or else there's going to be this Alpine or Austin Martin coming around the corner. That's probably going to. Oh my gosh, Jesus Christ! I had a plane crash.
Hail Mary.
I don't know what that corner is. You guys better tell me what corner that was where Rosin is parked at.
Which one?
Right
here.
The really fast right-hander in the middle sector.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
so he is just watching guys go in around Masterbocht.
Well, Rosin was sitting on the curb as
He'd
the
spun.
Aston Martin Exotic was coming around there. He was literally just planted on the curb and did not decide to move out of the way. He didn't decide to reverse into the grass. He didn't decide to get himself turned around. He just sat there and waited for the car to come.
And that is a blind corner as well. Fast entry, 5th, 6th gear, maybe 4th. I don't remember. Who am I kidding? I haven't played this game in forever. But fast corner, blind, very dangerous. Is Rassam? We're just calling him Rassam. Is that what?
I think Cam said Razum.
Rosin.
Okay,
I call him Rosin. But Wing It is about to start a lap for you guys. This information. He'll be starting a fire here just
I
now.
think it's hogging up all the airtime this evening.
So if you guys aren't watching him, I'll please keep an eye on his sector splits for you.
Yeah, this is crazy. So only 2 different winners this year?
What in the AM2 is this? That's not right.
I mean, isn't that last season with Ben Electric and all, pretty much?
Well, yeah, but last season we were here.
So-
I think it was the 7th race, and we had 3 drivers with 2 wins apiece. So,
That was a 3-way fight. But yeah, it really looks like there was a reserve driver that it appears won Baku in an AlphaTauri. Not entirely sure who that is. Do you know, Cam? Off the top of your head?
I can't think of who it was.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it looks like Wing It won. 4 out of the first 5, and then Garvey's won the last 4. So they kind of did a little partner swap there, which is
I always love when we partner swap.
When you think about the prior
That's the only
season
thing we're
before, I'm
swapping.
pretty sure Wing It won the final 2 races, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah,
like
yeah.
that?
Wing It ended. Yeah, Wing It ended season 10 on a flyer. So it wasn't surprising to see him coming in hot like that. First, 11th, 1st, 8th, 3rd, 12th. But he did miss a race there in the middle. Looks like France a couple weeks ago. But yeah, not surprising. PBAR A Garvey actually does go Bill Bess's own time on 111.196. Exactly 2/10 ahead of DK Nortec.
Chase is purple in Sector 1, or Sector 2, sorry.
Yeah, he was up by 2/10, so he might be able to jump at least. He might be able to get himself with a P6.
Around Lyndike Bocht. See what kind of lap
P7.
that is.
It's only be good enough for P7, but still a decent enough lap.
Bit of a
I think that's a sign of very high downforce, though, because his Sector 1 and 3 times were pretty poor, all things considering, but that Sector 2 time was pretty electric, so
Do you remember
Chase
what
definitely
wins
preparing for the wet, I would say.
yeah.
At least in the dry weather, I think I run 35-30, but I think in wet weather conditions, I bumped each wing up by 5, so like a 40-35 is I think what I ran for wet weather race.
Yeah, I don't remember what wings I ran here, but I think dry last season I was upper 40s, and it was completely dry the whole time. So definitely a higher downforce track, but the wet definitely will play a big part in some of the suspension these guys are running. Definitely need some clearance for all that water that's going to be
Yeah.
flowing around there.
Especially with the banking
Yeah,
as
something
well.
I'm curious. And the wings, I mean, and the curbs, but what's that really fast right hand chicane at the end of the lap and the beginning of the 3rd sector?
I don't think it really has a name.
thick
It's
curbing.
just like 11 Bocht and 12 Bocht or something.
But instead, I did want to ask you guys. I guess, do you guys favor having more wing on your front or your rear around those tracks?
I don't even remember.
With these cars, I definitely think you want more front downforce, just due to the understeer nature of them.
Absolutely.
You need all the help you can get rotating, and then I really use my suspension to kind of counteract that. But speaking of things that may have broke or counteracted, DK is spun and completely racked out in the final corner.
I was trying to get a visual on that, but
Sector
we
3.
could not find it.
I think his time may be good enough to at least keep him in that top 5-ish range. Maybe even good enough for P2 still, but
Yeah, currently about a quarter of a second up on 3rd place Orlando, who was on a flying lap. Remember Orlando? We were excited about him. Looks like he had a podium in France.
Oh yeah, it was a great performance from him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A couple weeks ago.
Orlando
so,
might go down in COS history as one of the better 5-lapper guys we have found.
Your boy. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I guess
You
we
found
did
me
find
and
you.
5 lappers. Come on
That's
now.
where we
The always so humble Cam Tizzle, gosh. But yeah, Orlando here, a little wide through 11 and 12 there. In the 3rd sector, not quite the ideal line. Missed the apex there too, but who cares? Who needs an apex? flying down the line.
Destrom actually being our fourth man commentator, he said that DK hit the inside of the last corner, and that's where he lost it. So he must have gotten on that curbing on the very inside of the line.
Very easy to do.
Yep. Yeah, I do. I definitely know that is quite easy. Orlando does get closer to 4.63, but not quite enough to...
Oh, Berkey was up on his time, but he spun in the same spot where Rosen did. He was up by about 1.5 tenths.
Yeah, Berkey last season here got a really good, surprising P4 result in the wet around here. So definitely looking for Berkey to make some noise in the race, even if P7 is going to be all he's going to get here in quali.
I was really excited to see what the rest of his lap would do, just because he was up by so much in his first sector. He could have potentially put himself in the top 5.
P4 just shy of Orlando's time. Pretty solid lap there from the Ferrari.
Coming out of nowhere a little bit. Berkey though was struggling. Who else? Oh, Chase. That's right along with Chase. Or we could ride along with Chewy.
Chase is a little further around the track. You got ZX coming to the line as well here. I don't know how much he's up. I haven't been paying attention to his sector times. P5. Man, he was complaining to me about how he was rusty coming into this one. That's a pretty solid lap.
She was up by 2 tenths already. That's already good enough for a P8. As long, and if he's able to improve even more, maybe we'll see some more spots gained for here. Because Chewy's definitely been a formidable foe on this grid over the past I don't know how many races.
Yeah, I see a lot. There are 3 podiums this season for Chewy. 4th place in the championship, right along with him. I'm not going to gloss over the fact that you all just watched Chase NASCAR spin out of turn 10, but it is worth mentioning. Way to go, Chase. MVP
based on
Chewy.
Based on Chewy's current times, he'll find himself up in P6, and if he's able to gain even more, maybe he'll even snag P5 or beat from ZX. But I think it's gonna be a P6 for.
Is that an ERS coming to the line?
It's gonna be a P2. It's a P2, and it's gonna be a McLaren front row lockout. MVD Chewy doesn't care about the troops. He doesn't want the troops to win on the first row. Well, he cares about one troop, not the other. Unfortunately, DK is the man out.
Good job, Dan. He found 3 tenths in that final sector.
That is a very good final sector for Chewy, and it's a McLaren front row lockout here from...
Things we would have never said in AM1, am I right?
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, I mean, solid lap there from Chewy. I remember the first couple races, he was a little off the pace, struggling to acclimatize to AM2, but he definitely seems to have found a foothold here.
In Bahrain.
Absolutely. He's definitely found his form here.
Well, that's good to see, and that's typically where you would expect the better, some of the more talented guys to start showing some form here halfway through the season. Obviously, it's always a bit of an acclimation process in the first part of the season in a new league. But looking good for McLaren.
Since you guys haven't been here, at least over the past like 5-ish races or so, he's usually placed himself within the top 5, if not higher, like we got right now. There's been a couple, if maybe not like 3 or 4 McLaren lockouts since you guys have done your little hiatus.
Yeah.
You know who
it kind of shows right here.
Dude, hold up. You know who Garvey looks like? Oh, I just clicked out of it. He looked like Carson Palmer. He looks like Carson Palmer. His little avatar looks exactly like Carson Palmer.
I don't know what Carson Palmer looks like, but I'll take your word for it.
He looks like him.
How do you not know Carson Palmer? Cardinals and Bengals legend. A little bit of time with Oakland.
Very underrated quarterback. Carson Palmer.
You're talking to an NFL. You're talking to an NFL illiterate person.
2003 Heisman Trophy winner Carson Palmer.
You call yourself an American. You don't like the National Football League. Gosh.
I pay attention to F1 and UFC. That's what what you got.
We've heard that before. That's man, what an existence. Chulito. Chulito says vamos Chewy. Looks like Chewy's got a bit of a fan club in the chats. Xavier Scott says, how many guys are using a controller, do you think? I'd say less than half, but there certainly are a few, more than likely.
Yeah, based off memory, it's gotten lower, even down in AM2. I think AM1 it was really just me and Kitten here, or one of a few. Vamo as well. Vamo was always the best of us pad users, but this game is definitely knocked down the pad in terms of its usability, its competitive ability in the F1 games. We lost our grip packs, so now not only can we turn worse than the wheel, we can't even accelerate with it. So a lot harder to drive.
Yeah. First day I had the game. I believe we were just doing 5 lappers with some of the guys, and the guys on wheels, like whenever they were pulling away, they were just putting up smoke because they were accelerating so hard, and they had that grip.
This track on a wheel is probably, it's honestly one of my favorite tracks. Like when we came up to Zandvoort last season, I was so hyped for this track. I kid you not, I counted how many laps I did. I did about 150 laps in preparation for this track because I love this track so much, and I wanted to.
It is fun. It's
even on the controller. It's a fun track.
It's top 3 most satisfying tracks to drive, I would say.
It's just such a fast track.
It's a big go-kart track.
The corners are satisfying when you hit them properly, and yeah, I absolutely love this track.
Yeah, I mean, as NASCAR guy, give me some banking, all right? You can't compete. I mean, look at that view out of the last corner. I mean, that's like Michigan Motor Speedway. Coming out there, Michigan Super Speedway.
Hey, at least this is in 2005 Indianapolis.
Yeah, brother, that was a great time. I remember that just like yesterday.
Thank goodness I didn't show up for the 2005 Indianapolis Grand Prix. I showed up for the 2004 and the 2006.
Well, now let's get a move on. Everybody obviously on intermediate tires as we start the formation lap. Geez, they're almost halfway done. Let me speed run this. BBR A. Garvey, the championship leader, is starting first, joined alongside MVD Chewy in the McLaren lockout. DK in P3, Orlando in P4, Cheesehead in P5, ZX reserving in P6, Acid Masters also reserving in P7. I think he won AM2 here last season. iExotic in 8th, the Bergie plays in 9th, Dream in 10th, Chase in 11th, Razum? That's a very complicated name. A lot of stuff going on in that name. He is starting P12. Harris Plex in 13th. Wing It all the way down in 14th place. And Deathstorm got disqualified before he can even really get started in qualifying. So, gonna be another interesting race. But, obviously, anything is going to be possible here. Gonna have a lot of cars going off. Gonna have, I would assume, a handful of safety cars. It's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep my eyes on Wing It for this one. Starting all the way back in 14th. Kind of watching this championship slip away from him a little bit. And a little bit, maybe an understatement with the form Garvey's in. And on the front row with a wingman. No offense to Chewy, but, with the wingman behind him. Blocking out Wing It's teammate at DK, but, yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be a very critical start and race in general for Wing It here.
As we get the DQ drivers going. Any predictions last second? Oh, nope, too late. Too late.
That'll be Orlando Chewy. That's my top 3. My on the fly top 3.
And they're away with the light glitch. It is BBR A. Garvey leading the pack. Chewy gets off to a slightly slower start. Oh no! And I think Acid Masters had a great start. I don't think. Who was that? Was that Chewy? That kind of blocked him out a little bit there. Or no, it was actually DK that blocked him out a little bit there. Boy, I am rusty. We have madness there. We have madness in the bench.
Oh my goodness!
Hugenholtz corner. Bach
chase both Aston Martins. I know
we've
the
got
Williams
NASCAR crash
of Rassam with wing damage. Saw that on the start. Wing
boy.
It in the back, but I think he's damage free. Is this a virtual or a full safety car?
Virtual. If you have the full map pulled up, you don't see a safety car pulling out.
Oh, we got a Mercedes here. Dream missing his entire front wing as well.
Oh,
and Deathstorm. Goodness gracious.
There's my picture with Orlando.
Oh, ZX missing his front wing. Goodness gracious. So everyone from, looks like Harris, Harris on back. No, Dream on back has some sort of damage, with the exception of Wing It, who just took it easy and was avoiding all that. But it looks like he still has his entire front wing.
Gordon
So half
Ramsey,
the
Fred,
grid.
says there's no ghosting. Yeah, there's no ghosting in AM1 or AM2.
Unless that has changed, but I definitely didn't have ghosting on. Oh my goodness, what's going on up there? We got Bergie lagging? Looks like he just absolutely drove through Acid Masters. And now he's just parked up high. Hopefully this doesn't mess things up. Got DK pitting on lap
God,
1.
this is carnage
Here,
back
he
here.
picked up some damage.
Oh, and
did.
Dream. Oh, Dream pulls an Ocon there, 5 seconds. Oh boy, and Harris gets a 5-second time penalty as well. We got a lot of penalties.
What are all
going
these
on.
for? Speeding?
Let
Let me check the race director.
like Acid Masters. I think there's something's
Yeah,
going on
so
with the telemetry.
yeah, so we got Dream sped, Chase sped, but Harris, Cheese, Chewy, and Acid Masters all got 5-second time penalties for ignoring yellow flags, which I'm assuming had something to do with Bergie
Wait, so does
lagging around all over the place.
am I losing my mind, or is this just a new glitch? It says Acid Masters, Chewy, Cheesehead, and Harris all have penalties.
No, they do. They
all
they
have
got
them too.
passed by Bergie's lag car, and then passed him back under the VSC because he tried to let everyone by, and they all got 5-second time penalties.
What in the world is, yeah, those are gonna get removed, I imagine.
Well, the problem is if they stay out the entire time, it won't be a problem. But if they come into the
they're gonna
pits,
serve a penalty, and then they
if
got
they
to
come
come
into
in.
the pits, they'll have to serve
Or-
it. But
Or
They
they
better
could be
hope they
like
serve
Cam and
under a
Electric
safety
last
car.
year. Yeah, then just don't pit. Just don't pit.
I think well, since there's a VSC right here, that's going to be a little bit better on their tires. So it's going to give them a little bit more wiggle room in terms of tire wear for the rest of this race by having that VSC.
goodness gracious, if that safety car didn't just absolutely obliterate the field, we got Acid
Yeah.
Masters and Garvey running away with it. Little
6.5
battle pack
seconds.
Chewy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the gaps we got right now is kind of crazy. Not gonna lie. After
This is
one
a
lap or
wild
2
one.
laps of racing.
Yeah,
A lot of
she
pit
said.
stops, a lot of damage.
Yeah, she said right on the tail of Chewy, but then you got another slight gap here back to Harris in P5, Bergie in 6th, Orlando 7th, Wingit, and DK 8th and 9th, Dream in 10th. But a lot of people have already gotten their races kind
Oh,
of
we got a
stepped on
Williams
here,
around.
and that is
It's
a
Rassam.
Williams. Rassam.
And that's a full safety car. Just saw it driving out the pits, the Mercedes.
Didn't have to worry about that for too long. And look at look at Chase. He's stuck behind the safety car, leaving the pits. Got a traffic jam coming out of the pits, and I believe Chase should be allowed to go ahead.
Well, don't run into the back of the Chase.
Yeah,
Come
don't
on
hit
now.
him. Don't hit him. That would have been fun.
Oh, and there's the parked car at Rassam. Just completely missed the corner going into turn 3.
And I missed it.
Oh,
what?
what?
What is
Where
this?
is Deathstorm? How did he hit Garvey? What?
What is going on?
What happened? Let me check race director. What are you talking
Garvey
about?
just got a 10-second collision.
Garvey just
for
got 10 seconds for a collision with Deathstorm. Deathstorm is on the other side of the
Yeah,
racetrack. The literal opposite
what
side
is-
of the racetrack.
You're joking, right? Let me check.
What? No.
You're right. You are correct. Oh my god, and this is going on with this game. Thank you, Codemasters.
Man,
Thank you,
something is messed up here. And that's going to be 2 10-second time penalties for Garvey. Yeah,
Is that just his first?
he said
I think that's
glitch.
just
Oh
the
yeah,
first.
it's a full 10 seconds. So hey, actually, yeah, they don't do 10 seconds. I'll get it removed.
At some point during this race, that is gonna be I mean, that's twice as bad as a 5-second time penalty that Acid Masters has.
Well, I don't think that
It's not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter in terms of as long as if he doesn't pay, he's gonna get that removed. Yeah, definitely. There's no way.
I don't think that he did. I don't think they do 10-second stop goes.
No, but
No.
the 10-second time penalties, you'll serve that in the pits.
Well,
You'll
yeah,
just sit
that-
there.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You'll only serve 5 of it though.
You can't just sit in the pits for 10 seconds.
Nope.
What in the world?
I mean, I guess I don't go around hitting anything. I can't. I don't remember 10-second penalties like that.
I haven't seen a 10-second time penalty in a long time.
As long as you have a penalty that's within an increment of 5, it'll only do 5 seconds for each pit stop you do. So if BBR Garvey would have pit twice, he would get all of his penalties removed. But obviously, he's not going to do that because that would wreck his race.
Well, since he didn't pit under the safety car, I don't know if he's going to pit at all, or if he's waiting for a.
That's what I did last season. If you're Garvey, you stay where you're at because I mean he's got the pace to pull away from guys anyways. He's gonna really far away from guys.
Well, this is what Garvey's saying in the chat. He's saying glitch. What? It will stop me in pit? Come on. I don't think it's gonna stop him. I don't think he has to serve it. I think it's only 5 seconds that he has to serve.
It'll force him to do it. I kid you not. Since he has an increment, if he had an 8-second penalty, it would not serve it. I don't think because
it would do 5 seconds and then you'd have 3 seconds left.
I kid you not. This game is so broken that if you don't have an increment of 5, like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, it'll not serve that penalty.
Well, that is unfortunate.
And they said it'll only do 5 at a time.
Oh. Well, I think the easiest workaround is like, we're just not pitting today. Acid Masters.
Let the stewards take care of it.
He's out of Acid Masters in second, who also has a 5-second time penalty. Everybody else has got their. We saw a lot of 5-second time penalties on that first lap. They have all been cleared. I think most of these guys have.
Deathstorm in the pits or under safety car. He's wrecked.
Where is? That is a strange place to wreck.
And ZX looks like he's just completely stopping. I don't know if he's waiting for. I'm not sure if ZX was involved with that. But it looks like he's missing a bit of wing there, ZX. No, just the way it was.
Deathstorm says son of a. Deathstorm says Miami 2.0. Garvey says I never touched. Yeah, I know Garvey. That's the crazy thing, dude. Deathstorm was.
You were on the other side of the track.
You guys were opposite ends of the track.
Garvey, this definitely hasn't messed up your race. Like I said, since you're listening, I know you're listening. You just don't pit. Your tires will last, and you'll get that penalty removed because it's complete BS by the game.
Yeah.
And you technically win the race. It's just how it's gonna have to work. That's your path to victory if you're Garvey.
Yeah, that is. This is super unfortunate. Again, Garvey going for his 5th consecutive win here. We're just past the midway point of season 11 here in AM2.
Looking at the order here,
CX and 13. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, so he waited for some reason after that Deathstorm incident. So I wonder if he was involved at some point.
Deathstorm says check up in front. That's not your fault, CX.
Oh, okay. So yeah, knowing CX, he'd rather be the nice guy and wait. But we do have 4 cars up front who haven't made a stop. DK in 5th, first car on fresh inners. But Bergie already sneaking into the podium places here.
Well, here comes Orlando, my second place prediction. He started off bad, but he's back in the 4th. I don't know how he made that work, but he's back there.
I mean, Bergie's pretty electric around here. Saw it last season, but got to restart.
If you look at the pit stops, everybody from 5th place on down has at least pit once. Some guys pit twice.
Yeah. Well, Garvey's going to lead us back to green here from Zandvoort. Man, looks like
look at Orlando!
Oh, look at that back there. We got some guys fanning out all over the place.
You're looking down the inside of Cheesehead, another bit 3 to DK.
Oh boy!
What in the world?
This is serious action. We got some guys with the overseer coming at Tarzan. Around turn 2 into 3. And who is that? Is that Cheesehead trying to rip the high line like he's Kyle Larson?
Oh, he did!
Oh, he ripped the high line.
He got a run on his brother there too, but he got boxed in next to DK. But he was able to get around the Alfa Romeo.
That is some pure electricity from Cheesehead there. As he is stuck behind his brother, the aforementioned Bergie. in P5. P4, P5 for the Ferrari boys, not too bad so far. Cheesehead is third in the championship.
Chewy looking for any way around DK here, going around the outside, going on to the, well, I guess what would be a DRS straight, but isn't.
Yeah, not in the current setup, no.
Ooh, got a little bit of action behind him, Wing It and Chase. Chase making a smooth move there on a championship hopeful Wing It.
That's Chase.
Yeah, Wing It is. Oh, hey! Whoa! We'd like to.
That one slipped.
I'd like to apologize to Roland and all the sponsors for Cam's misconduct. He will be putting 25 cents in the swear jar after the race.
$25 Chase gift card. Be gonna be kidding.
Yeah, it's really crazy the amount that I curse in just day-to-day life. I never really slip up.
Had a little bit of position change there. The Ferraris working the team orders, letting Cheesehead on the fresh rubber.
You think they're like you think they're do like a LAN party right now? They're like sitting next to each other on the wheels and stuff.
But no, so I've actually been in a party with both these guys in a race, and they live. One is upstairs or in a different room than the other, so you'll hear them screaming at each other from across the household, and you can hear the other one on the mic. It's pretty great. But yeah, the Wisconsin boys switching spots there in typical Ferrari fashion.
Oh no, Chase gets some drive out of turn 10. But that drive leads him straight into Harris's rear wing. Fortunately, I don't think there's any damage. But Chase will lose a spot. An opportunistic wing. It was able to nearly get both of them out of 10. But that was a wild, or a clunky maneuver from old Chase.
Something not so like it could play a little bit of factor, but not as much considering Garvey's in the lead. But he's the only one with like less than 50% battery.
Oh my goodness! Up front of this train here, P5 DK with an absolute send on the bottom.
And they're going side by side through here. I wouldn't even recommend this in the dry, let alone the wet. Chewy ripping it on the high side like he's Tyler Reddick.
This train is deep. It goes from P5 to P11. This is a tight train.
I love a deep, tight train, but this is very tight action.
And the 7-4 crew. But yeah, this is where the action's coming from. Garvey, yeah, he is burning battery, but he's got himself a little bit of a buffer there, and Ass actually has more of a buffer back to Orlando.
At the back of it, Chase and Wing It changing spots again and again. Chase has now got ahead of Wing It. He's trying everything he can to get by him.
He's not going to get the drive. He almost had the drive, but he had to check up a little bit with Chase in front of him.
Whoa, Harris now looking on Bergie.
Harris is going to send it right around the outside. He's going to have the drive outside the corner. That's move done.
Whoa, Chase!
And Chase is looking for a move as well.
Pinch!
This is just...
Oh, Bergie is just getting bullied out here right now. Bergie is the man everybody's just fucking... Well, man, I have not sworn at all in any of these streams I've been doing up until now.
Oh man, Bergie just absolutely body checking Chase.
Wing It now. Wing It sells Chase a dummy, dives down to the inside of Tarzan, tries to get him. These guys are just all bottled up. Okay, look at
gotta send it around the outside here. Chase does it.
Oh, look at how close they are.
He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it.
Yep, that outside run around Bergie has been the move that a couple of these guys have made work.
Yeah, the Alonso line, that's going up high. Fun stuff from this feisty little group back here.
Oh, here comes Wing It. He's just about bum drafting Bergie down the inside.
Oh, Wing It he loves Master Bocht.
I guess inside and outside is good on Bergie.
Yeah, Bergie just absolutely struggling right now on these inners. Could be
and Dream is the next contender at Bergie. He's gonna too. He's just everybody is just
Bergie just on the casting couch right now, getting railed by everyone.
Oh my goodness. Bergie is a sorority girl at Miami in the mid-2000s.
And here comes ZX, friend of Bergie. I don't know if he's going to be able to get a run.
Exotic!
Yeah, in the back there.
He just caught that, just
Full
barely.
safety car.
Full safety
Dead
car.
straight into the wall. It must have had a gigantic tank slapper, and he went nose first.
I'm happy to see this, though. I'm glad to see this group get bunched up again, because that means we're going to get even more action like we're just getting right there. That was honestly awesome right there. That's the most action I've seen out of this group in the entire season, honestly.
Exotic.
I saw action, but this is amazing, honestly.
Yeah, Exotic was struggling on the restart. Saw him in the dirt a little bit when the safety car first came in. Kind of fell back from the pack, clearly struggling, and then finally just absolutely ate it out of the last corner. Hope he's alright. He's currently being airlifted to the nearest hospital.
I believe the G meter in his earplugs said 350 G's he just took head on. So yeah, he was conscious.
The infield medical center will take good care of him, though.
Oh, no, he's already been airlifted to the nearest hospital.
Yeah, which was the nearest trauma center in Zandvoort.
He has a Mick Schumacher type injury at Saudi.
Yeah, he took Kenny Brack was his favorite driver growing up.
Kenny Brack. I think Kenny Brack, the previous record holder. I think it was like 214 G's that he survived. It looks like Acid Masters is hitting the pits, getting shed off this 5-second time penalty.
Yeah, he's gonna get rid of it, but
I don't know why. But if he didn't deserve that penalty, I would have kept it. Yeah, I would have kept it.
I think that's a terrible call in terms of track position, because it's already hard enough to pass unless you're passing Berkey.
I think
you made it look easy, but
fair
yeah, I mean, Acid Masters just dropping 9 spots, sorry, all the way down to 11th. It just doesn't seem like the right call for what is really only going to be, 10-ish lap pressure tires, so you know, it's not that big.
I don't know, and I wouldn't completely rule out another safety car here.
I'm pretty happy with the amount of overtakes I've been seeing, though. This has been giving it Zandvoort, which is notoriously a DRS train. Given we're in the wet and there's no DRS, but we are seeing way more overtakes than I ever anticipated around here right now.
Welcome to the sound of the wheel gun, Zandvoort. It's I mean, it's a great track. I think the rain really plays into his strengths in terms of the banking, allowing different lines through some of these corners, and we saw that with the moves that were being made on Bergie. You know, hate to use him as an example all the time, but I mean, the outside of turn 3, making that work, even if the inside is the preferred line through there, the banking helped.
Sure did.
Severe Scott said that's some deep type stuff. Is indeed. This has been action packed. This has been
got all kinds of deep
this
stuff
has been
going on.
nose to tail throughout every corner in this little pack we've had.
Look, when it's a real AM Tuesday, there's a whole lot of deep tight stuff going on. Out on track, in our bedrooms, in my mom's basement, just a whole lot of deep tight stuff.
It is notable. I'm looking through the race director. Dream is like pretty much I kid you not, Dream is the only person who has exceeded track limits, and he has 2 of them. Literally no one else has any warnings except him.
I'm surprised with that, knowing the 11 and 12 chicane, just how much you can gain by cutting that curb just a little bit more than what the track limits want you to. I mean, if you just yeet your car over that curb,
that's like 3-4
you're gaining some time. So
he got both of those 2 on lap 1, so he's been able to keep it together since then. But maybe it was just a lap 1 chaos that's maybe brought that upon him. But he's got to be a little careful, at least through certain sectors of the track versus everybody else. He's the only one. I kid you not. If you look through the race director yourself, he's the only person.
Safety car in this lap.
When did Gestrom DNF? I didn't even realize he DNF'd. He's got terminal damage.
He DNF'd on your safety car.
What?
He crashed on the backstreet.
what planet are you on, Cam? Come on, give us a program.
That's the only thing I missed is that. I saw everything else, but like that, I did not see that
anymore.
Yeah, there was a big accordion effect from safety car conditions. That happens. Everyone's not always going the same speed. And Deathstorm just ran right into the back of ZX, ultimately resulting in his DNF. I wonder if ZX has any rear wing damage because of that.
Orlando might have a run on Garvey to this first corner. We're off. Orlando's going to send us around the outside. He's going to send it around the outside of the first corner. I don't think he's going to have it, though. He's not alongside us.
He still got it. He's got it.
Oh, and that's Orlando got pushed off the track. It's a huge bottleneck. And that's a huge bottleneck.
Shoved off again.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
They're 3 wide.
Orlando's getting bullied.
Turn 3.
Orlando's dropped down to P9 now after that restart where he was in P2.
Oh, watch out, Chewy! DK gets the move done, and Chewy had to take the dirt road through 4 and 5 there. Some super sketchy stuff. We are seeing some
going
balls
on
out here tonight. Did she said got Garvey?
Yeah, she said got Garvey after Garvey and Orlando got together on the exit of 1. Chase getting past Chewy now through Master Box.
Chewy setting a move down the inside. It's not going to be enough, though.
Yeah, cut the corner
lose
to
momentum. Orlando
again
gets bullied.
Who's around? ZX and Bergie.
ZX and Berg. I didn't get to see that. I don't know what happened.
Oh, we got.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, never mind. I thought there was some damage on Dream.
Passive Masters and Dreams. There's only 12 drivers left. This is one of the best. It's one of the best Zandvoort races I think I've ever seen.
Cheesehead is actually extending his gap on Garvey.
I think Cheesehead just needed some clean air. He is on fresh tires. He hit he pit under that first safety car, so he's got a couple lap fresher tires to Garvey.
I would say Garvey might be a little flustered right now with that penalty looming, but
I don't think he is.
Then I remember that he's a troop and he is determined and willing to fight for this podium or for this race win.
Yeah, I mean a double airman podium.
I don't see how you can. I don't know. Cheesehead would even be able to get 10 seconds out of BBR Garvey for it to even matter.
Yeah, I don't know. Garvey might just be stuck between a rock and a hard place here with that awful penalty. Nonetheless, we must keep going. DK in a podium spot, P3.
Momentarily, though.
2 seconds behind, and look at this. Chase is all over that diffuser as we head through Lion Dyke.
Smell the cologne that DK is wearing. That's how close he is. Chase, but DK, look at the straight line speed on that Alfa Romeo. So he's going to be hard to pass as long as he doesn't make a mistake. But in the rain with low downforce.
That is a DK classic. He loves to trim these bad boys out. He wants his hands full.
Look at the switchback here. The drive Chase gets out of turn 3 just with that downforce.
He's not going nowhere. DK making his car intentionally wide.
It's a really hard spot to overtake anyway, just due to the nature of how the track bends. It's just there's not a lot of space for you to find a slot when you do get a drive out around that corner. If you're gonna make a pass out of that corner, you gotta be alongside early.
Drive here. I bet you he's gonna try to switch back here, going onto the straight into the chicane. See if he gets the drive.
Yeah, DK's getting
He's on the battery. Both of them are on the battery. I think DK's gonna hold off.
Yeah, DK with that straight line speed's gonna be able to hold off there.
DK goes a little deep. Gonna allow Chase to keep a little bit closer to him. I think Chase might have a move into the first corner as long as he gets a good drive out of here. Which it looks like he is. It looks like he is.
Just watch this Alfa Romeo drive away from him though. Without the battery even, just already pulling away.
Even with the battery that Chase has, he's just not gaining anything out of it. So DK has made a good strategy decision in running out of that low wing.
Ooh. Let's see if he tries the outside here, Chase into 3. Nah, he just completely misses turn 2. But
if you're Chase, you have to be close on the exit or into the corner.
Chewy is very much on the scene, by the way. Now, it looks like he lost a little bit of time there, out of 3, but Chewy has arrived, and Wingit's not too far behind. So this is great defensive driving from DK, but this pressure from Chase has been relentless for the past 2 or 3 laps.
It's great defensive driving, and he's not
Acid Masters sends a move down the inside on Orlando, and they're going side by side, and Acid Masters makes contact with Orlando, but unsettles his car, but he's going to have to relinquish his position and stay behind Orlando.
And Chase to the outside of DK into 11 and 12
contact!
contact!
There's contact! And Chase is gonna have to let these guys by. Look at Chewy!
What's going on?
Look at Chewy, dude. I feel like this is a scene from Driven. Chewy is snuck by somehow. DK is gonna be the biggest loser in that entire situation. He was trying to let, I believe, he was trying to let Chase back in. But
I think Chase is trying to let DK back.
And then Chewy just took absolute advantage of the situation.
That also released the Wingit.
Like a football player at the University of Florida. Wow, this is...
Goodness gracious.
That is some good stuff from Chewy. And now look at Wingit back in podium contention. It looked like he was donezo's in the first part of this
Orlando
race.
and Chase! Orlando and Acid Masters.
He's out of this race!
That ended in disaster. They both...
My prediction is out of this race.
On the exit of turn 3, a squeeze from Acid Masters put Orlando in the wall.
I missed it. I tried cutting back as soon as I could, but I missed it.
Oh, that was absolutely brutal contact for Orlando, and then Acid Masters just couldn't catch the car in time and just hit the wall as it kind of angled back up the hill, and the Alpine went out of the race as well. We're down to 10.
Were you able to catch that?
I don't think he was able to get it on stream, but I was on board with it. I saw the positions change.
I got some of it.
But Andy, so what exactly happened? Which part of of that straight was it on the left part or the right hand right before the hill?
So Acid Masters took the inside line going into turn 3. Orlando on the outside. Acid Masters kind of washed up the track a little bit on the exit of 3. Squeezed Orlando all the way to the edge of the track, and Orlando, not wanting to just completely back out of it, kept his foot in it, and Acid Masters kind of ran them both into the right side wall of the track, instantly DNFing Orlando, and Acid Masters then slid about another 400 feet and then hit the wall a little further down the straight there as it kind of angles up the hill.
Gotcha.
Smart
We're down to
move.
10 drivers. As long as all these guys classify, that's points for everybody that's left in this race.
This is quickly turned into a war of attrition. Maybe we got a bit of a preview of that early on, when we had a multi-car pile up in turn 3. But
in terms of pit stops, Garvey is the only person who has not stopped. We have guys who have done 3 stops, like Chase, Dream, ZX with 3 pit stops is a P4.
Yeah, and I think he used this one. I mean, we might be safety car'd out at this point with only 10 guys left.
Yeah, so we do have a little word from Orlando on this situation. He has sent a gift to the Discord of Toto absolutely obliterating a set of headphones on a desk. So I feel like Orlando not very happy with the reserve of Acid Masters.
I guess the good news for Deathstorm is that he's going to have a little extra time on his hands since he doesn't have to finish the second half of this race, so he's going to be able to go ahead and review that himself.
Well, so if Acid Masters, you guys remember by chance remember Japan last season?
Yeah, I mean he's an aggressive driver. He's got the pace though here for AM2, and we always love a good show. So we're
he's a show.
I love Acid Masters. He was very apologetic afterwards, but Acid Masters at Japan when he punted me into the final chicane.
Yeah, he deserved it.
But well, it is what it is. I ain't mad at them. I'll take
we love our reserves here in AM2, especially when we only had a 14-man grid without him. So
yeah, say Acid Masters is cool. I'm not mad at him for anything. He didn't pass, so it is what it is.
Yeah, but maybe if you were just better, you would have won that championship.
I guess so. I guess I should have just took it to them more.
He's the reason I hate British people. That's
Yeah, gosh. Yeah, not British people, alright? Just English.
all foreigner though.
Yeah, no. I mean, we love our Scots. Love the Welshmen.
Well, we don't like Northern Irish people.
Yeah, Northern Irish and
We don't like
English.
Northern Irish
they
people,
can,
but
they can
yeah,
get that.
Scots and the Welsh. Yeah, we mess with the Scots and the Welsh.
Gareth Bale is the greatest British player of all time, and
That's a hot take that I definitely agree with.
I think English people would agree with it. Name an
Absolutely.
English player that's better than Gareth Bale.
Definitely not David Beckham.
Definitely not Harry Kane either.
Yeah, George Best was an alcoholic. Wait, no, he was Northern Irish.
Oh, well, even worse.
Yeah,
Gosh.
gross. No wonder he was an alcoholic.
On an unrelated note, did you guys know that
We're restarting the race?
Oh, never mind. I'll shut up then.
Cheesehead with his first attempts at a restart today. We'll see if he goes a little bit earlier than BBR. Garvey has been.
He's on it.
He is
Oh,
on
no,
it. And
Garvey's gonna get him.
Garvey's guessed that. He has played that
Man, look at the
perfectly.
straight line speed of that Ferrari.
No wonder he can
Oh,
say
DK
that.
moved the corner.
DK
He's in the gravel.
super duper deep.
He's gonna lose.
Oh, the 3-1. This is not going to end well. Wing it. Yeah, Wing it is
It
smart
did.
for backing out of that, but that leaves him
yes,
exposed to
yes.
Harris.
Wait, no, he kept it
Oh, and
together.
then
He caught it.
Dream
He
just
caught
gets
it.
caught up in it. Oh, that is unfortunate.
What is going on? Bergie has damage on his front end. I think ZX may have front wing damage as well. He completely ran into the back of DK, who was all over the place in turn 3.
Well, these boys are turning absolutely feral on these restarts, and I'm not mad about it, to be honest. But
I
Cheesehead,
personally love feral boys.
yeah. Well, I am a feral boy. It's actually my screen name. But Cheesehead again out immediately, pretty much to a 1-second lead. Cam, can you check what the ERS is like for these guys? Is she just burning through ERS or
Which person?
Cheesehead and Garvey?
She's had as 84, Garvey 79, Chewy 80. Everybody's sitting at 70
So,
or above. Pretty much.
I think it's just raw pace from Cheesehead here, and
What I was
the
looking
clean
at
air
is,
helps.
I don't know where Chewy got that 5 seconds. Was that the beginning? He got apparently
No,
at
I
some
think
point
he
he got.
sped on his second pit stop.
No. I looked at the race director. He says he got ignoring yellow flags on lap 2.
Yeah, that was from the Bergie incident. What's his second 5 seconds? Does he pit again?
Chewy only has
Whoa,
5 seconds. I don't
Jesus
think everybody
Christ.
else. I don't know. I was looking.
Yeah, so Chewy sped on lap 18 when the second safety car came out.
Chewy has. Oh, he got. Okay, no. Chewy had a speeding and pit lane penalty. That's what it is. That's not going to get removed. That won't be removed. So he's going to. So Chewy is not going to be able to get this penalty removed, and he's going to actually have to extend a 5-second gap somewhere.
I mean, we'll see what the stewards say. I think he could argue a point that this 5 seconds that he has now is from the, incident he had with Berkey, which is not his fault. But
okay, fair enough.
There is a way that he could argue a point to get this 5 seconds removed, but
I suppose
currently it is from his speeding penalty.
Yes, correct.
It's like Stephen A. Smith and JJ Redick on first take right
Oh,
now.
wait, Orlando. Oh yeah, Orlando
And
had
just
left the session. He was out.
A big lap, a good sign for BBR. A Garvey, who I remember promising I would just call Garvey. I need to stick to that. He is pumped in fastest lap, down to an 8/10 gap to Cheesehead, but 7/10 actually. Excuse me, never mind.
Wing alongside his teammate. What's going to happen between the two Alfa Romeos? Wing is going to get this position.
Yeah, when
DK is going to let his man down.
Oh man,
Wing gets a snap. He's gonna
Yeah,
catch
big
it.
moment there for Wingett.
Huge snap.
Probably team orders, but I don't think these guys want to deal with ZX. ZX and Harris are both coming.
Whoa, up front for the podium spaces, Chewy all out of shape. Here comes Chase.
Whoa!
Chase, I don't think he's going to get the run. He's taking a
Oh,
really
he's,
deep
yeah,
inside
he's
line.
on the button already. Chasey, I think he's burning ERS all the way through that corner. Definitely did not help with traction.
Look at this. We have missed this completely. But Chewy has himself a bit of a fan club. Diego Ayala 46 says Vamos Chewy in the chat. Shout out to Diego.
Oh, here comes Chase!
Look at how tight this is. Goodness gracious.
Oh, and look at the run from Chewy. That straight line speed absolutely carrying him down the front straight. Didn't have to burn a lick of ERS while Chase was on the button, still driving away from him.
Diego, if you're not part of Contest Speed, I'm dropping the Discord link down below right for you right now. If you wish to get on this action potentially.
Dude, Chewy's got some friends, man.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking for North American drivers, as always. Not too fond of the South Americans personally, but
yeah, I don't like the South Americans, but like Mexico's cool.
Yeah, Mexico's great. We love it,
especially those Argentinians, you know.
Yeah, South America. Gosh, disgusting.
That entire continent outside of Bolivia. For
yeah, I mean, just for no reason at all.
No reason.
Yeah, no reason.
But yeah, we love our North Americans here. Great internet across the board.
I think ZX, I mean, DK will be able to hold off CX because if you look at ZX's battery, ZX only has 8% versus DK's 83%.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen the straight line speed of this Alfa Romeo as well. It's very hard to pass, even if it isn't just the outright fastest car on the grid right now.
So as long as DK doesn't make a mistake, he'll be able to cook on this no straight.
I don't want to alarm anyone, but BBR Garvey is back to half a second.
But he's also on 6% of ERS, so yeah.
He is trying hard. See, I don't have that information available to me. Is Chase?
He's also gonna get that penalty.
Oh, Chase! Here he goes! Chase on Chewy! Oh, that's tight!
Oh, and Chewy! Oh,
Chewy!
Chewy has to back out.
Entire curve, yeah. I mean, yeah, you have to if you're Chewy. Yeah,
and I don't want to alarm you guys, but Wingett's here, and he's currently setting just at the fastest lap of the race, the last lap, fastest sector 1. Wingett means business here. He's finally got enough practice laps. Only took 25 of them in the rain, but the outright pace of Wingett is here, and I don't think it's going anywhere but forward.
Wingett has more battery than Chewy, so Wingett has more weapons at his disposal.
And I'd assume Wingett's probably running lower downforce as well, knowing the Alfa Romeo
He's literally right on the bumper. He's on the bumper. He's looking to the outside. He's gonna set.
Yeah, Wingett's got a better line.
A small tap.
Just a little tippy tap.
I think Wingett's still gonna have a drive. He's still gonna have a drive. He's being on the battery now, but is it gonna be enough?
No,
I don't think it is because
Chewy is dumping. Yeah, Chewy dumped the battery there. Dumped about 20% to get away from Wingett.
I wish.
But all three of these cars are catching the top two of Cheesehead and Garvey. Chase, Chewy, and Wingett all running them down.
Yeah.
But in terms of Drivers' Championship standings, Wingett's gonna have to make something happen. It's gonna have to happen now.
He's making it happen!
Oh, DK!
Oh no, DK's around!
We're on the outside down the hill.
On the outside of Steve Lick! Hello?
Oh, he's gonna get it!
Oh, what a move!
Wingett's made the move done. He's made the move.
What a move!
The move is done.
That is a brilliant move. I've never seen someone make the move around the outside of Steve Lack.
We may see another move here. Cheesehead and Garvey were side by side in Master Bait.
Master Box.
Master Bait. Master Bait.
Master Box. But yeah, I mean, Garvey's there. He doesn't have quite the ERS to keep up with Cheesehead, but he's got the drive out of the corners.
It must be said the respect between Wingett and Chewy on there. They give each other space, and
oh man, Wingett just about ate a wall. Looked like exotic fishtailing out of there, but now he's got a task ahead of him. He's got 2.5 seconds to go run down the leaders. And I'd say Chase is fully joined this party.
Speaking of the leaders, what more can you want? You got the top 3, all within 1 second with less than 10
look at that line. Cheesehead runs through 3.
We got DK in the pits. DK is in the pits.
Yeah, he spun. Broke his wing.
Oh, he broke his wing. I don't see an end plate broken. Oh, alright.
Yeah, Chase is definitely...
Chase is there. But
He's
I do
definitely
want
a
to
player,
take a
and we
moment
have not even
and talk
talked
about the lines in turn 3 between Garvey and Cheesehead. Garvey running the more general, consensus line through that corner, just keeping it as tight to the bottom as he can. Cheesehead is wheeling that thing all the way around the outside, getting an insane drive off of the corner.
Yeah, I mean, that is what it's good for, and I think that he's really just found something that maximizes that the time.
He's really diamonding the corner off. He's throwing it in deep, letting the car run up high, and then just punching it on
NASCAR
exit.
stuff. This is some real NASCAR
it's
stuff.
paying off.
What do you know, bud?
Oh.
Drew might have a run on Harris into turn 1. He's on the battery. He's got 70% more battery than Harris, but he's not using enough. If he was juicing his button a little bit earlier, he might have gotten that move. He's got a lot more battery.
Do y'all hear that Jaws theme music? I hear it, and it sounds like Wing It catching this front pack. Gap only down to 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, Garvey seems to be struggling a little bit right now.
I'll be back, fellas.
And we could look at the pit stops. I mean, Garvey hasn't stopped yet. These tires could be falling off a little bit. Chase and Wing It have both made multiple stops. Cheese pit on that first safety car.
Yep. And I think that might be a lot of it. But yeah, like you said, Wing It here on the prowl. I think we're going to be in for one hell of a finish here from Netherlands. About to be lap 29 to 36 in a wet, soggy, slick, action-packed race from the AM2 guys tonight. And Cheesehead currently leads Garvey by about half a second. Chase has gotten to the back of him, and now Wing It is within a second of those. As he puts in another fast lap. This has all the ingredients to be a classic here.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm any of these top 3, the hair's standing up on the back of my neck. I know I got it. I want to get to the front of this train as soon as possible. Oh, here comes
Chase. Has a great run.
And just rolling the grass a little bit.
Yeah, he just had to lift for Jesus to avoid killing Garvey. Yeah. Chase is getting in. Chase and Cheese are running very similar lines through turn 3, getting a much better drive than Garvey out of there. That could be down the tire, but it could just be down to a little bit of NASCAR experience, using that banking to your advantage.
Yeah, I think it might be. I mean, you do. I mean, that was obviously his name was Chase, but that was a big Ty Gibbs lift for Jesus kind of moment right there.
Do you guys look at the tire life of these guys? Garvey and Cheesehead 28 and 25 laps versus Chase and everybody else below with like 10-ish laps.
Yeah, so Cheese pit on that first safety car, which happened on like lap 3, and Garvey hasn't pit yet. So yeah, we were talking about the tire wear while you were taking a little hiatus. But Wing It, man, he's got 6 laps to do it, and he's got the pace. Didn't put in the fastest lap that time, but he can smell these guys now.
I really enjoyed Dreamin' Bergie really getting after it back here. This is fun. Unfortunately for them, they're not going to get too much airtime because we have a 4-way fight for the win. Actually, Cheesehead again using that turn 3 line. He's bolstered himself out to a 1+ second advantage as the rest of these guys kind of sit status quo, closing in about a 10th or 2 a lap, but it's all very fluid on the timing sheet
and on the track. Sorry,
you threw me off. I was going to say that.
Away from the buns.
You threw me off. Diego Ayala 46, the Chewy fan, says Po Namarias Chewy. I don't
I don't know Spanish, but I'm just going to translate that, but let's go Chewy. That's all I'm going to translate that to.
Hey, Johnny Puffins says, good race, guys. Sending you positive vibes from Portugal. Shout out to Portugal.
Yeah, we love Portugal. Big
Johnny,
best footballer in the world comes from Portugal, if we're being honest.
Johnny, if you want to find yourself in the European tier within contest speed, I'm dropping you the Discord link down below, and you are more than welcome to join us, join the community.
Yeah, throw it back for us, Johnny. Wing it. Now losing a little bit of ground actually is Chase once again.
Oh man, Chase he's getting so much better.
He's doing everything.
These guys are eating Garvey up in turn 3.
Yeah, Johnny, we have EU and AM sides.
I believe we have 3 European tiers, and I'm sure if you're the man, Johnny, I'm sure you'll find a spot in one of those tiers.
But we'd be happy to have you over here. You know, if you're more of a night owl, as some of us are. You know, we love our night owl Europeans. Shout out to Acid Masters, who unfortunately is no longer racing, but we love our night owl Europeans.
Matty Robbo said that he'll be back next week. So
yeah, I mean that's what happens when you know fan favorites come back. Start calling some races, get some action.
No offense to Cam. Apologize to Cam.
For what?
Cam did great.
Cam did great. Okay, maybe we just bring the people out. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe we just bring the great races out, because wing it.
It's AM Tuesday, man. It's not AM Tuesday without Kit and Petter and Andy in the booth.
Absolutely, it's been a definitely a refreshing take on the race, having you guys back.
I mean, it's been extremely refreshing for me as well.
Oh my goodness!
Wing it! Yeah,
wing it! Oh, he's still
whoa! He's gonna have to shortcut that.
Wing is everywhere at the moment.
Oh my goodness!
I can't tell if he's using front end or back end.
Wing does not understand track limits.
I think that constituted not track limits, because he was.
That was for survival right there. That was life or death saves.
Skip that. Right after pumping another fastest lap.
I mean, if he's fishtailing like that, setting fastest lap for the race, yeah, I mean, if he could get the car under him, he may be able to get a shot here. But right now, Chase, he needs to get a move on Garvey. And I think his best spot's going to be the exit at 3, and he's just going to have to force the issue.
I mean, he's been
getting down here, 3-4 laps to go. Gotta send it if you're going to do it.
Sometimes, sometimes Chase is kind of pushed it with DK, I think, a little bit. And he's learned his lesson. He's not doing anything over the top here.
Oh, wing it behind him. Caught that inside curve of turn 1 and just about had a very lazy spin.
Over the place.
It's a sign that Wing It is just pushing to the absolute limit. Wing It wants every single position he could snag out of as possible.
Well, he sees his championship rival right in front of him. I'd be pushing
too. He knows what it means. He knows what it means in terms of all-around contenders.
Yeah, it's been a tough run for Wing It. Actually missed a couple races after his winning streak and kind of been a little downhill. Johnny says, yeah, Johnny's joined the Discord. Thanks, Johnny. He says, sometimes I race with friends from Brazil, and they're always jumping on track. Oh, yeah. Here at Contest of Speed, we are very anti-South American, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, Johnny, after this race, I could try to work with you and try to get you expedited into its tier and try to get you going into this next week. We just need some TT times from you from about, I think, 2 tracks, and we can get you placed in a tier and get you rolling for next week.
Yeah, probably gotta wait for the Europeans to wake up. You know,
the Europeans got to wake up for sure. Yeah, it's not my decision. It's entirely them, but I will help you get that going if need be.
I think Chase may have a run here in turn 3. This is the closest he's been entering 1, and he's gotten a great drive out of not only turn 1, but really turn 3 on Garvey.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
I think this is it if you're Chase.
I mean, this is really just one of the worst spots to be in as a driver.
He's on it. He's on it. Oh, he's pushing him.
Oh, is he gonna go for it? Oh.
No, he can't.
He can't. I mean, this is just such a terrible position. He's stuck. He's stuck between a rock and a hard place, is what Chase is right now. He's probably faster than Garvey.
Oh, wing it! Oh my goodness!
Oh my god, did he just throw a
ran
dive?
over Chase. Yeah, he just about ran him over. And that might have thrown Chase off a little bit. We'll see. Chase using a little bit of ERS, trying to catch up to Garvey. And I think what Wingit really needs is he needs Chase to get this move done. If Chase gets this move done,
Yeah.
Wingit has a chance at Garvey. But if Chase is in between them, there's nothing Wingit can do but sit here and watch. And I get it, some guys like to watch, but
Yeah.
I don't think Wingit's one of those guys first.
For sure. I mean, Wingit could be a guy that likes to watch, but I'm not sure if he likes to watch this much. This has been going on for about 20 laps.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he wants to get in on the action at some point. And I think, you know, he's waited long enough. It's time for him to get in there.
Yeah,
Get his hands dirty.
Absolutely. Garvey, again, kind of closing in, but look at that gap jump up every single time Cheesehead takes that line. It's at least 4/10 of a second.
Oh, here comes Chase. Oh my goodness! Again, he's basically pushing him through that little kink before that corner.
Chase has been sizing it up, and that is probably the spot where he's going to have to get it done. But, you know, fair play to Chase. He doesn't want to take out the championship leader here. And there's just no room to go. Garvey's just putting his car in the right spot. We have the helicopter shot presented by Busch Light.
And Wingit still has 40% ERS. He hasn't touched it yet. And I don't know if he knows, but we're coming to the last lap, and you don't get any prizes for saving it. Oh my goodness!
Don't say his name like that. Don't bring that bad juju on him. I love the helicopter shots from Zandvoort, though. You really do get a nice lay of just a really interesting part of the world. The west of the Netherlands, all these dunes and stuff. Pretty neat.
She said dumping all the battery, making sure he has enough of a gap to Garvey. I think our real battle's for second here, if we're being honest.
Sure
Knock on
is.
wood for Cheesehead. Hope he can make it through one more lap here.
Oh,
here
Chase,
comes Chase.
Pushing real hard.
He's gonna get a run.
And this
Here's
is where
the
he's
run.
getting this run. He's got
He's-
it.
oh, he got
it's blocked off. It is blocked off, and they are.
Gloves
Damn,
are
you're
off now if I'm
pushing
Chase.
each
I mean,
other.
that block
Oh,
was
his wing
very
jumps off the track. I'm
feisty.
not sure what happened to him. That was extremely feisty from Garvey. I thought that they were not going to make it out of that complex.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, and Wingit sends it! Oh my god! I didn't even see him. All right,
Yeah, that might have been on the border of.
Around the outside wing, it's going to keep it in there. He's had a little bit of a moment, but he's not going to be able to do it into this corner. I think that it was GG's between Chase and Wingit.
Wingit might have been the ultimate.
Oh, he
But
got
we
Wingit
three.
takes like a time penalty.
Oh,
It's not going
no.
to matter because she behind him is way more than 5
Oh,
seconds.
yeah,
It
Chew-
was
Chew
like
is.
part-
I think Wingit unintentionally just helped his championship rival right there. But
that is a wrap.
nonetheless, around Lyondike balked one final time is Cheesehead for his first win of season 11 here in Contest of Speed, followed by Chase, Wingit, and unfortunately that 10-second time penalty. Garvey, I don't even know.
I'm gonna invite Chase and Garvey. I think we all know that that's really gonna be our podium.
Yep, absolutely.
And I'm not gonna listen to the game.
Yeah, I don't. That's.
much as I'd love to
that might be the right
Garvey,
executive decision.
Garvey says too late to make chat tonight. Gents, great win. Cheesehead.
Well, I guess we
Okay,
can
well
make
then
it.
wing it. Boom.
Yeah, all right, Garvey. Fine, if you don't
Garvey,
want to talk to
I
us,
think you won this. Not gonna lie, if you, as long as you put in a report that
he didn't
for
pick
that
anything,
penalty.
so.
Yeah, I think as long as you put in a report for that 10-second penalty, that's your win right there.
Well, it's not gonna be his win. He finished second. She said.
Well, once you get that 10 seconds, or doesn't that put him above him?
No, it puts him in second.
Does that not matter?
Well, he finished second.
Or if you get the 10 seconds, or if you go 10 seconds further.
No, he would go 10 seconds. He still got.
Right.
10
You're right. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, he got a 10-second time penalty.
Sorry, my bad. I'm just done. Okay.
Yeah, she said, "Is your winner tonight?" That I'm certain of. Wisconsin legend. She said.
Did he just
In the gritty, he's widowy on the podium.
on the podium.
He just wittied on the podium.
I
of
would
an
too
F1
if it was my
race.
first win of the season in the 11th round, I think.
Yeah,
It was 11.
you know,
Oh, there was
Ferrari.
Great Britain.
In typical Ferrari
there's-
fashion, if we're being
there's-
honest.
There's a missing column here. Great Britain was last week. I'm not sure what happened last week. But yeah, big win from the cheese man himself. He will take that over Garvey.
Yes.
Chase is going to be third. Oh, God,
Yes.
sorry. Burping a little bit. It's a lot of bush lights. Cheesehead. Cheesehead, Garvey, Chase, Wing It, Chewy, our favorite Mexican, ZX, Harrisplex, Dream, DK, Bergie, all finished the race. Asset, Orlando, iExotic, Destorm, Rosm. Do not. 3 safety cars, 36 laps. That was a fun one, guys. They always are. We always have bangers. Come on. That was a banger. That's the part where
So
someone else
that's
is
probably
supposed to
the best AM2 race I've seen all season since I've taken over Palms.
I mean, it was a banger,
We
as
bring
always,
bangers.
in AM2. Alright.
It's
Bring 'em
instant
back.
AM2 classic right there.
I mean,
I
it's,
don't know,
it's
man.
always...
There's been some pretty... There's been
There's
some
been some
wild...
good races, but at least in terms of this season, that is a classic of this season. If you're going to talk about the 2020,
It's probably because a certain AlphaTauri driver isn't in it, if we're being honest, but, you know... I'll keep my opinions to myself.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot more.
And get on with some podium interviews. Hopefully Wing It will come talk to me. But for now, we do have our first and what will be third place finishers in the party with us, and we'll start with third place, Mr. Chase, formerly Chase NASCAR, formerly Lajones. All 3 names, doesn't matter to us. We love you anyways. Snatching a podium here in Zandvoort after what was probably one of the most exciting wet races we've seen here in AM2. How'd you feel, driving that one? You looked pretty good out there. And is any key points for us?
Wish it would have been less diversity throughout the race.
Oh, hey, we love diversity here. That was a hot take, Chase. Goodness gracious.
Chase showing his politics.
Chase the racist. Golly.
That was a wild way to open it, Chase. Goodness
Alright.
gracious.
Okay,
That one's being clipped and sent everywhere. Chase is now canceled.
I was about to say the same thing.
Okay, what would you actually mean by that? Besides, less diversity.
less
Gosh.
chaoticness on my
Yeah.
side.
Okay. Yeah. Better choice of words.
Yeah.
Reveal swap.
My setup for the wet is really high aero, so qualifying in the dry was not great for me, as it showed. And so starting 11th, I got up to 6th in 4 corners. And then I don't really know what happened, but the incident between me and Bergie sent me back to last. Drove back through the field up to, I think it was 4th again, and then another safety car. Then on the safety car restart, got around Wing It pretty quickly, luckily, because he was fast at the end.
Okay. Your audio is shared, right?
Yeah,
No,
I
already checked. I already checked.
Okay.
Here.
Yeah. Good. Thank God. Because the last time I did interviews, you messed it up.
Yeah.
I would have.
But,
I would have cut. I would have cut the interview off with something other than jokes.
Good. Good. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, you definitely seem to have to measure these guys out of the corners. Your drive, especially on Garvey, for about 10 laps there at the end of the race. Go ahead.
I really wish I could have got around him.
Yeah, I mean, you had
fought for the win, but
he threw a pretty late block on you there on the last lap, but the drive you had out of turn 3 going up the hill there, you had chances. I think you probably made the best decision in terms of clean racing moves by backing out of it.
never mind.
Yeah, I mean, you never do. So I think you made the best decision. Garvey did a great job putting his car exactly where it needed to be.
Both
but
had great defending.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you're still on the podium, and I don't think that it's anything to be mad at. So congratulations on a historic podium, because it's the race that Kenton and I came back and commentated. But it was a classic. But we'll move on to second place Garvey. who will get his 10-second time penalty removed, and we'll thank him for his service, and move on to Cheesehead, our favorite Wisconsin native, Brewers fan, boo, and race winner here in the Netherlands. Cheesehead, tell us how you did it, man. Just came out of nowhere and snatched this one. Let's
Love that. We apologize to our sponsors. Jeez, you don't have the audio.
Thank goodness. All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
What is it? He doesn't have his audio shared?
yeah, get that audio.
Here, I can walk you through this. I can walk you through this real quick, she said.
Oh, you got a PS5. Sick.
Alright, she said go to
Yeah,
party screen, go to party audio, and then where it says allow your voice to be shared, always allow. The party screen where it shows all of us there in the party audio settings. Allow your voice to be shared, and then always allow. Always allow. I'm on PS. They can't hear me.
Yeah. You got me now, right?
Let's see,
there's a 10-second
I'll check the
delay.
stream. I'll check the stream if I can hear him.
Gettin's watching.
Yeah, BK got it. BK's
Boom.
big
We're
shout out to
live.
BK, by the way. BK's been
Alright.
very supportive in the chat today.
Yeah, let's watch the
so big thanks
profanity
to
now,
BK.
Cheesehead, on your
Alright, so-
interview. But you can
It's,
go ahead.
It's about dang time we won a race in AM2 without the penalties and stuff. We did thank the boys at the factory, like I said before. But really, Garvey just held me. Like, I just could not make a mistake at all, and I was really getting worried there, and I started experimenting around in the bank curve, or whatever you want to call it. And was just NASCAR in the turn, just taking the high side. Was getting great runs, and it was backing me enough up because he was way quicker than me in this middle sector that I could hold him off. And it was a great race. That's like what F1 should be. None of the DRS. It should be straight up. You gotta make a pass, and that's how it was today. There was no DRS. It was all managing, and at the end of the day, yeah, it reminded me of old F1. You didn't have to. None of the DRS. I know that might be boring for the viewers, but I feel like this was a great race. A lot of managing going on my side. And just the different lines and stuff too. And yeah, we made a pit stop early. Finally got a strategy call right. Made a pit stop early, and that last one had me puzzling if I was gonna pit or not. But I'm glad I stayed out. You got me the race win, and I didn't know if he was going to get a 10-second penalty or not, so I just had to keep my head down, and I kept my head down the whole entire race, and here I am, so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you drove the wheels off of it, did a great job. We did notice your line in turn 3, way higher than everyone else. Definitely a little bit of NASCAR experience there, using the banking to your advantage. Got an incredible run.
I had
up
to.
the hill every time.
That's
that's really what won you the race. Yeah, it won you
seriously.
the race. And
like I said, had to keep moving around, and he was beating me through there on the bottom. I was just like, I got to change something, and as soon I set green sectors from the race to the end, doing the high side in sector 1. So, yeah, I'm just pumped. You know, I got to thank everybody who puts this show on. I know it's been a rough couple weeks and months and stuff, but it looks like everybody got it back where we should. And yeah, just thank for everybody for putting this on. So it's one of my favorite things to do on Tuesday, and one of the better leagues I've been in. And happy birthday, Mom. This one was for you.
Happy birthday,
Out to
Mom
Mrs. She said.
and Mrs. Bergie as well.
And Mrs.
Shout out.
Bergie Head.
Very unfortunate for him.
Yeah, he had a tough one. Got bullied early, but Wing It has made his. Oh yeah, wait. Congratulations, she said, on your win. First win this season. Definitely earned it.
Beers on me, hypothetically.
Yeah, beers on me. Beers on 3. 1, 2, 3. Beers.
Yeah.
We'll move on to Wing It, who has joined us. Unlikely, he'll get a podium here with Garvey's penalty situation, but nonetheless, a drive to remember. Wing It starting back in P14 in the wet, so no DRS around here. Had to wheel his way all the way up to what is a current P3, but most likely a P4. Pretty good result around here. Zandvoort in the wet. What do you say? And you can tell me, did you practice before this race? Yes or no? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so just to give you a little insight on Garvey's penalty, he got a 10-second time penalty for a collision with a car on the other side of the racetrack. Like not next to him on the other side of the racetrack, but on the literal other side of the racetrack. So very silly Codemasters penalty. So it will most likely be a P4. But based off what Cam has told us in recent results, this does seem to be a turn in the right direction in terms of your championship hopes. Had a couple rough races, and the poor attendance striking back in France as Garvey had a whole lot of points going his direction, while you weren't there. But yeah, I mean, if anything, closing the gap up a little bit, a little damage limitation, if you will, here in the Netherlands.
Oh, I always forget that.
Yeah. I mean, we know you party hard on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Turn up on Tuesdays as you do in the world.
You don't have to explain the needle in your arm to us.
Yeah, I mean, we understand. We support you through all your endeavors, whether they may or not hurt you or not. But congratulations on a solid result, nonetheless, and a good drive. Driver of the day, I think the game said. So congratulations. Move on to Kit and Petter to wrap it up for the first time in a long time. We don't want no kids around here.
Yeah, first time in a long time. Thanks everyone for checking in on the stream. Had a lot of interaction and whatnot. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Was a great race. Surprisingly, a very good race here at a wet Zandvoort, where it's typically pretty difficult to pass in the first place. Steel Harris says W race. I'm going to assume that's Harris. He says W race. That was a great one, despite a slightly smaller grid size and 5 cars being out of contention about halfway on. Exciting all around, enthusiastic. Nice to be back. Thanks everyone for checking it out. But yeah, I guess that'll do it. Where are we at next week? Hold up, I have the thing here.
Okay, I'll take a quick peek. Let me see. F1 calendar.
Monaco. Oh God.
Oh gosh.
God.
I think I'm a little sick, guys.
Oh,
I
dude.
No, it's not Monaco.
Seriously,
It's
we
Monza.
literally
It's
come back
Monza.
from
No,
Monaco?
you're great. No, it's Monza. You're
It's Monza. Oh.
Even better. Oh man, I feel
Okay,
100 times better,
Oh,
guys.
even better. I just see the MON. Why is that?
that makes sense though, because BK earlier was saying something about reserving for next week in Monza. Remember when BK took me out in the turn 1 at Monza?
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
You might not. You might
great,
not.
great
But
race.
he
Oh, no, yeah,
absolutely
he completely
was
missed
awesome.
the corner. It was great. But yeah, Monza, Templar Speed. Yeah,
Alright, well.
yeah, height.
An absolute roller coaster of emotions here this
Ferrari's home
evening.
race.
Ferrari's
Oh, yeah.
home race.
Ooh,
See if
hey,
Cheesehead
Wins?
Good point, Cheesehead. Good
let's see
point.
if Cheesehead can get on a bender here, because it kind of appears that that's the way this season's gone. But yeah, wow, what a roller coaster of emotions. I was about to not be too thrilled about that, but yeah, Monza next week should be fun. You can check out EU2, I guess, tomorrow afternoon. Here in the Americas. It'll be 9 p.m. GMT, if that is your time zone. But yeah, AM1 tomorrow night, same time, same place. EU1 on Thursday. So that'll do it for us. Nice to be back. Special thank you to all of the podium guys. Cheesehead, Garvey, who didn't make it, Chase, well done, and Wing It, the alternate podium member. I'm getting better. That's Andy. That's Cam. Thanks, guys.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
do this. Let's do this about, I don't know, 7 more times. See you next week.